In this podcast episode, Ben Shapiro discusses two major events that occurred the previous night: the Grammys and the release of a Senate compromised border security bill. He starts by criticizing the Grammys, particularly the host Trevor Noah, for being boring and lacking entertainment value. He highlights the fashion choices of the attendees, such as Doja Cat, Lenny Kravitz, and Billie Eilish, pointing out their questionable outfits and behavior. Shapiro emphasizes the influence of culture on politics, noting that the messaging from events like the Grammys can impact a larger audience than political discussions. He criticizes the lack of moral clarity in the performances and speeches at the Grammys, especially regarding issues like the Gaza conflict and attacks on Jews. Moving on to the Senate border security bill, Shapiro highlights the low approval ratings of the Biden administration, particularly on immigration. He mentions the administration's perceived support for open borders, which has led to a lack of trust among Americans. Shapiro discusses the efforts by Democrats to pass a bipartisan immigration bill to shift blame onto Republicans for the ongoing border crisis. Shapiro delves into the details of the border bill, debunking claims that it ends catch and release and improves border security. He points out provisions like $2.3 billion for refugee and entrance assistance activities, $3 billion for U.S. aid in Gaza, and $3.4 billion for hiring and associated costs for U.S. citizenship and immigration services. Shapiro criticizes the lack of measures to address illegal immigration and the funding for non-personnel operations like transcription services. He also mentions the $14 billion aid to Israel bill proposed by Republicans, which was rejected by Democrats due to offsetting concerns. Shapiro highlights the political maneuvering around the border bill and the push for a comprehensive approach to national security priorities. He discusses the need for Republicans to challenge Democrats on their support for Israel and address the ongoing border crisis effectively. Border Emergency Authority is a key component of the bill, which allows the Secretary of Homeland Security to activate it when there is an average of 4,000 or more encounters at the border per day. This authority mandates that individuals must be processed at local ports of entry, but there are limitations on how long it can be activated. The bill also loosens the definition of claiming asylum, making it easier for individuals to seek protection in the United States. Despite claims that the bill strengthens border control, it does not address the root issues of illegal immigration. The focus on political ownership rather than actual policy change is evident in the bill's provisions. The Biden administration's approach to immigration is influenced by the need to appease the left-wing base, leading to contradictory actions and policies. The discussion shifts to the conflict in the Middle East, particularly the recent violence between Israel and Hamas. Shapiro criticizes the media's portrayal of the conflict, highlighting the role of Hamas in instigating violence and targeting civilians. He points out the hypocrisy of condemning Israel's response while ignoring Hamas's terrorist activities. The Biden administration's response to the conflict is criticized for its lack of understanding of the Middle East dynamics. Calls for a two-state solution and concessions to terrorists are seen as misguided and counterproductive. The focus on appeasing Iran and other regional actors further complicates the situation and undermines Israel's security. Shapiro emphasizes the importance of standing with Israel and supporting its right to defend itself against terrorist threats. The need for a strong and principled approach to foreign policy in the Middle East is highlighted as essential for promoting peace and stability in the region.